DeepSeek for Everyone, a free course for beginners by Liviu Chokazan. Imagine having a super smart assistant who can write emails, explain complicated topics in simple terms, help you plan a trip, or even generate creative stories, all in seconds. That's not science fiction. That's DeepSeek. Welcome to Module 1. What is DeepSeek? DeepSeek is what we call a large language model. But don't let the fancy name scare you. Think of it as a computer program that is read and learned from a huge amount of text, books, articles, websites, and more. Because of that training, it can understand your questions and generate human-like answers. You talk to DeepSeek just like you would talk to a friend by typing in a chat window. You ask a question or give an instruction, that's called a prompt, and DeepSeek replies. The more clearly you ask, the better the answer. How is DeepSeek different from Google? When you use Google, you get links to other websites. You have to click, read, and put the information together yourself. DeepSeek works differently. It creates a direct answer for you, written in full sentences. And unlike a regular search engine, DeepSeek remembers what you said earlier in the conversation. You can ask follow-up questions, refine your request, or ask it to change the tone from formal to funny, for example. Another big difference: DeepSeek can do things that search engines can't. It can write a poem in the style of Shakespeare, translate a paragraph into 10 languages, summarize a 50-page document, or even help you debug a line of code. Where can you use DeepSeek? DeepSeek is available in two main ways: a web browser version and a mobile app, iOS and Android. Both are free to use. You don't need to install anything special. Just go to the DeepSeek website, create an account with an email address, and start chatting. The app works the same way, plus you can use voice input. And here's something exciting. DeepSeek can read files you upload, PDFs, Word documents, Excel sheets, even images with text. So you can ask questions about your own documents, real-life examples and short demos. Let me show you 3 quick examples you could try today. First, I'm going to ask DeepSeek to explain what blockchain means, but as if I'm 10 years old. Second, I'll paste a long, boring paragraph from a work email and ask DeepSeek to summarize it into 3 bullet points. Third, I'll give DeepSeek a list of ingredients: eggs, spinach, cheese, and ask for a quick breakfast recipe. Summary and mini exercise. So here's what we learned today. DeepSeek is an AI that talks with you, not a search engine that gives you links. It can write, explain, summarize, and even be creative. And you can start using it for free right now. Your first exercise. Open DeepSeek and ask it this exact question. What are 3 things you can help me with today? Then reply to one of its suggestions. That's it. You've just had your first conversation with AI. Module 1, you met DeepSeek and asked it for 3 things it can help with. Now it's time to get comfortable. You'll learn how to talk to DeepSeek so it gives you exactly what you want. The first time. The chat interface. Quick tour. When you open DeepSeek, you'll see a simple screen. At the bottom is a text box. That's where you type your prompts. Above it, the conversation appears. Here are the key buttons you'll use. Send, arrow icon, submits your prompt. New chat, usually a plus icon, starts a fresh conversation. DeepSeek forgets the previous one. Attachment, paperclip or plus, lets you upload a file, PDF, Word, Excel, image, copy on any response. Copies DeepSeek's answer to your clipboard. On the mobile app, there's also a microphone for voice input, great for when you're walking or cooking. The secret to great prompts, R plus T plus C plus F. Most people type something like, write about dogs, and get a boring, generic answer. The secret to getting amazing responses is using a simple 4-part formula. Role. Who is DeepSeek acting as? Task. What exactly do you want it to do? Context. What background information does it need? Format. How should the answer look? Let me show you the difference. Example 1. Weak prompt. Don't do this. Tell me about Paris. Result will be a short encyclopedic paragraph. Example 2. Strong prompt. Use the formula. Role. You are a local tour guide. Task. Suggest a 3-day itinerary for a first-time visitor. Context. I love art and cheap food, and I don't speak French. Format. List each day with morning, afternoon, evening, and a budget estimate. Result will be detailed, useful, customized. You don't have to write role, etc. Just weave those 4 elements into natural sentences. Fixing vague prompts. 2 quick techniques. Sometimes your first prompt still misses the mark. That's fine. You don't start over. You just ask for a change. Technique 1. Ask for a rewrite with specific instructions. Make the previous answer shorter. Use bullet points instead of paragraphs. DeepSeek remembers the context automatically. Technique 2. Give an example. Few-shot prompting. I want you to write product descriptions like this example. These noise-canceling headphones are so light, you'll forget you're wearing them, except for the silence. Now write a similar one for a waterproof backpack. Result. DeepSeek mirrors the tone and style of your example. Watch me take a vague request and turn it into a great one. Vague. Help me with my resume. DeepSeek gives general tips. Improved using the formula. Role. You are an experienced HR manager. Task. Rewrite my resume bullet points to be more action-oriented. Context. I'm applying for a marketing coordinator job. Format. Show the original bullet point, then your improved version side by side. Here are my bullet points. DeepSeek returns polished, job-tailored bullet points. Summary and exercise. Today you learned that a good prompt has 4 parts: role, task, context, format. You also learned how to fix vague answers by asking for a rewrite or giving an example. Your job now? Take a prompt that didn't work well for you in the past, or use the weak example below and upgrade it using the formula. Then compare DeepSeek's new answer to the old one. You'll be amazed. Step 1. Start with a weak prompt. Type this into DeepSeek. Tell me about starting a small business. Review the answer. It's probably short and generic. Step 2. Upgrade the prompt using the formula. Now type this improved version. You are a successful small business owner. My task is to get a checklist of the first 5 things I must do to start a bakery from home. Context. I live in a city with strict health regulations and I have only $2,000 saved. Format. List each step with a short explanation and a rough cost estimate. Step 3. Refine further. After DeepSeek answers, add one more prompt. Make step 3 more detailed. Add a warning about the most common mistake beginners make at that stage. Step 4. Reflect. Write down or think about. How was the upgraded answer better than the first one? Did the follow-up refinement work? What would you change next time? Module 3. Everyday Superpowers, Real Tasks You'll Use Daily. Learning Objectives. By the end of this module, students will be able to use DeepSeek to summarize long articles, emails, or meeting notes. Draft and rewrite emails for different tones, formal, friendly, persuasive. Brainstorm creative ideas, blog topics, gift ideas, business names. Plan meals or trips using constraints like budget, time, or dietary needs. Apply the prompt formula, role plus task plus context plus format, to each of these everyday scenarios. By now, you know how to talk to DeepSeek, but knowing how isn't the same as using it to save time every single day. In this module, I'm going to show you 4 everyday superpowers that will make DeepSeek feel like a personal assistant, one that never sleeps and never complains. Superpower number 1, the summarizer. We all face information overload, long emails, boring reports, endless news articles. DeepSeek can shrink them down to the good parts in seconds. Example scenario. You receive a 10-page PDF of meeting minutes. You only need the decisions and action items. Prompt to use. Summarize this document. Focus only on 1. Final decisions made. 2. Action items with owners and deadlines. Ignore small talk and background info. Format. 2 bulleted lists. Then upload the file or paste the text. You can also summarize without a file. Just paste any long text directly into the chat. Pro tip. Add a word or bullet limit. Example. Summarize the following in exactly 3 sentences. Superpower number 2. The email writer. Staring at a blank email box, DeepSeek can write the first draft or fix yours. Scenario A. Draft from scratch. You are a freelance graphic designer. Write a short email to a potential client named Sarah. Context. I met her at a coffee shop yesterday and she mentioned needing a logo for her bakery. Format. Friendly, professional, and include a link to my portfolio. I'll add it later. Scenario B. Rewrite an email you already wrote. Paste your draft, then add, make this sound more confident and less apologetic. Shorten it to 3 sentences. Scenario C. Change the tone, take the email above, and rewrite it as if I'm asking a favor from a close colleague. Casual, warm. You can also ask DeepSeek to suggest a subject line or flag anything that might be misunderstood. Superpower number 3, the brainstormer. Stuck for ideas? DeepSeek is a creativity machine, but you have to steer it. Example, blog post ideas for a vegan food blog. Brainstorm 10 blog post titles for a vegan food blog. Context. My audience is busy parents who want quick, cheap meals. Format. A numbered list. Each title should have a hook. For example, you won't believe. Example. Gift ideas. Suggest 5 birthday gifts for my 70-year-old dad who loves gardening and puzzles. Budget under $30. Example. Business names. Generate 20 name ideas for a dog walking business. Style. Playful, trustworthy, easy to remember. The key. Give DeepSeek constraints, budget, audience, style. Otherwise the ideas will be generic. Pro tip. Ask for wild cards. Now give me 3 completely ridiculous ideas just for fun. Superpower number 4. The planner. Meals and trips. From what's for dinner to where should I go next weekend? DeepSeek can build plans. Meal planning example. Create a 3-day meal plan for one person. Context. I have a slow cooker, no microwave, and I don't eat meat. Budget, $40 total. Format, breakfast, lunch, dinner for each day. Include approximate cook time. Trip planning example. Plan a 2-day solo trip to Chicago. Context. I love architecture, cheap eats, and walking. I don't like crowds. Budget $150 not including hotel. Format. Morning, afternoon, evening for each day, with estimated costs and walking distances. DeepSeek won't book anything, but it gives you a blueprint you can tweak. Putting it all together. A real workflow. Let me show you how I use DeepSeek to solve a real problem this week. Step 1. Summarize. I pasted a 15-page vendor contract to DeepSeek, gave me 5 key risks. Step 2. Draft email. I asked DeepSeek to write an email to the vendor, asking for changes. Step 3. Brainstorm. I asked for 3 negotiation strategies. Step 4. Plan. I asked for a timeline to review and respond. All in under 10 minutes. That's the superpower. Not just one task, but a chain of them. Summary and exercise. Today, you learned 4 superpowers: summarizing, email writing, brainstorming, and planning. Each one saves time and reduces mental load. Your exercise. Pick a real task from your own life this week. An email you've been avoiding, a dinner decision, a problem you need ideas for, and use DeepSeek to solve it. Not a test prompt, something real. Choose one of the following scenarios. Use DeepSeek to complete it. Track A, work/school. Find a long article or report, or use a past email thread you struggled with. Ask DeepSeek to summarize it in 5 bullet points. Then ask it to draft a reply email based on the summary. Track B, home/personal. Plan dinner for the next 3 days. Give DeepSeek your budget, dietary restrictions, and kitchen tools. Ask for a shopping list, too. Track C, creative. Brainstorm 10 ideas for a small problem you have. For example, weekend activity, gift for a friend, name for a group chat, Instagram caption. Ask for wild cards. 3 ridiculous ideas. Reflection questions. Write or think. Which superpower felt most useful for your life? Did you need to refine the prompt? What did you change? Would you trust DeepSeek to do this task without checking why or why not? Module 4. Avoiding Common Pitfalls When Not to Trust AI. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, students will be able to identify hallucinations, confidently wrong answers, and know how to check them. Understand what not to share with DeepSeek for privacy and security. Recognize when to use DeepSeek versus when to use a search engine or human expert. Apply a simple three-step verification process to any important AI output. DeepSeek is amazing, but it's not magic, and it's not perfect. In this module, I'm going to show you where it can fail, how to catch those failures, and most importantly, how to use AI safely without embarrassing mistakes or security risks. Pitfall number 1. Hallucinations, confident lies. Sometimes DeepSeek will give you an answer that sounds completely correct, but it's made up. AI researchers call this a hallucination. Example: a real hallucination you could see. Ask DeepSeek, who won the World Cup in 1946? DeepSeek might invent a country and score because there was no World Cup in 1946. It was cancelled due to World War II. But it won't say, "I don't know." It will guess confidently. Why does this happen? DeepSeek is designed to be helpful and fluent, not to be a fact database. When it doesn't know, it sometimes invents plausible-sounding nonsense. When hallucinations are most likely obscure facts, for example, what color was the mayor of a small town's car in 1987? Recent events. DeepSeek's knowledge has a cutoff date. It doesn't know today's news. Specific numbers, dates, or names. How to protect yourself. Ask for sources. Prompt: list your sources or say, "I'm not sure," if you don't know. Verify critical facts with a search engine, Google, Wikipedia, official site. Use the "I'm not sure" trick. Add to your prompt. If you are uncertain, say, "I don't know," instead of guessing. Pitfall number 2. Privacy and security. What not to share. DeepSeek remembers your conversations to improve the model. That means you should never, ever share sensitive personal information. The red list: never share. Don't share. Instead, passwords, API keys, login credentials. Use placeholders like my password, real full names, addresses, phone numbers. Use fake names or customer name, credit card, or bank details. Don't paste financial info, ever. Confidential work documents, unless your company allows. Check your employer's AI policy first. Medical records or legal case details. Anonymize heavily. A 45-year-old patient with symptom X. A good rule: if you wouldn't post it on a public Facebook wall, don't paste it into DeepSeek. What about the new chat button? Starting a new chat stops DeepSeek from referencing that conversation later, but the previous conversation may still be logged. When in doubt, leave it out. Pitfall number 3. Over-reliance and de-skilling. It's tempting to let DeepSeek do everything. Write your emails, plan your day, answer your questions. But if you rely on it too much, you might stop practicing those skills yourself. Signs of over-reliance. You no longer try to write a draft before asking AI. You stop checking facts because DeepSeek is usually right. You feel anxious or stuck without AI. Healthy balance. Use DeepSeek as a starting point, not a final answer. Write first, then ask for improvements, especially for writing. For learning, ask DeepSeek to explain why it gave an answer, not just the answer. DeepSeek is a tool, like a calculator. A calculator doesn't make you bad at math unless you stop learning math. Same with AI. Pitfall number 4. When to use a search engine. Instead, DeepSeek and Google are not replacements for each other. They're different tools for different jobs. Use DeepSeek when, use Google when you need a summarized, rewritten, or explained answer. You need current information, news, prices, hours. You want to brainstorm, draft, or analyze. You want links to official sources, laws, forms, official data. You're working with your own text or ideas. You need to verify an AI-generated fact. You need a conversation, follow-ups, refinement. You need a specific website or document. DeepSeek is terrible at "what's the weather today?" or "what time does the library close?" It might guess wrong. Use a search engine for that. The 3-step safety check for important tasks. Before you act on any AI-generated information that matters, use this 3-step check. Step 1. Cross-check with a search engine. Take the key fact or recommendation and search for it. Do multiple independent sources agree? Step 2. Ask DeepSeek to be uncertain. Add to your prompt. If you are unsure about anything, say, "I don't know," rather than guessing. Step 3. Use your own judgment. Does the answer feel off? Is it too generic? Does it avoid specifics? Trust your gut. For low-stakes tasks, like a recipe or a fun poem, you don't need this. For anything that affects money, health, legal matters, or your job, always verify. Summary and exercise. Today you learned 4 pitfalls: hallucinations, privacy leaks, over-reliance, and using AI for the wrong tasks. You also learned the 3-step safety check. Your exercise. I want you to deliberately try to catch DeepSeek making a mistake, and then verify it with Google. It's the best way to build healthy skepticism. Student exercise. Step 1. Ask a risky question. Type this prompt into DeepSeek. Tell me 3 little-known historical facts about the year 1945. Step 2. Pick one fact that sounds interesting. For example, maybe DeepSeek says, the first microwave oven was sold in 1945 for $5,000. That fact is actually mostly true, but we'll check anyway. Step 3. Verify with Google. Open a new tab and search for that fact. Does a reliable source, history website, Wikipedia, news archive, confirm it? Step 4. Reflect. Was DeepSeek correct? If not, what was wrong? How easy was it to verify? Would you have caught the mistake without checking? Step 5. Try the safety prompt. Now ask the same question but add, if you are uncertain about any fact, say, "I don't know," instead of guessing. Does DeepSeek answer differently? Module 5. What's next? From beginner to power user. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, students will be able to recap the 5 core skills learned in the beginner course. Complete a final challenge that combines all skills. Identify what's possible with intermediate and expert DeepSeek skills. Decide whether to continue to the paid courses based on their goals. Congratulations! You've made it to the final module. You started with no knowledge of DeepSeek, and now you can write effective prompts, summarize documents, draft emails, brainstorm ideas, plan meals, and avoid common pitfalls. That's real, useful power. Let's quickly recap what you've learned. Quick recap. The 5 beginner superpowers. Module, skill, key takeaway. 1. What is DeepSeek? An AI that talks with you, not a search engine. 2. Prompt formula role plus task plus context plus format equals great answers. 3. Everyday tasks. Summarize, email, brainstorm, plan. 4. Safety hallucinations. Privacy. Verify important info. You don't need to memorize everything. The cheat sheets from each module are your quick reference, but the most important skill is practice. The final challenge, put it all together. This is your graduation test. I'm going to give you a realistic, messy task. Use everything you've learned to solve it. The scenario. You're planning a small weekend trip for 2 people to a city you've never visited. You have a budget of $300 total. You both love street food and museums, and you hate crowded tourist traps. You also need to write an email to your boss asking for Monday off, and you want to brainstorm 3 creative ways to save money on the trip. Your mission: use DeepSeek. Plan. Ask DeepSeek for a 2-day itinerary with costs. Brainstorm. Get 3 creative money-saving ideas. Draft. Write the email to your boss, professional but friendly. Verify. Pick one fact from the itinerary, for example, museum hours or food stall name, and check it with Google. Do this now. Pause the video. It should take 10 to 15 minutes. Then come back. Sample solution for those who want to compare. Here's how I would tackle it, but your answer will be different, and that's fine. Prompt for itinerary. You are a local travel advisor. Plan a 2-day weekend trip for 2 adults to city name. Context: budget $300 total, excluding hotel. We love street food and museums, but hate crowds. Format: morning, afternoon, evening for each day with estimated costs for food and activities. Prompt for money-saving ideas. Brainstorm 3 creative ways to save money on a weekend trip. Context: we already have a hotel. We want to spend on food and museums. Avoid obvious tips like pack snacks. Prompt for email: draft a short email to my boss requesting Monday off. Context: I have no remaining vacation days, but I can work extra hours this week. Tone: professional, honest, slightly apologetic. Verification: take the name of a specific food stall or museum from the itinerary. Google it to confirm it exists and has the hours DeepSeek claimed. What's next? The paid courses, intermediate and expert. You've mastered the basics, but DeepSeek can do so much more if you're ready to go deeper. Course 2. DeepSeek Power User. Intermediate, paid. For knowledge workers, marketers, small business owners. File mastery. Upload PDFs, Excel sheets, images. Analyze contracts. Extract data from receipts. Grade student essays. Automation. Connect DeepSeek to Zapier or Make to automate email replies, social media posts, data entry. Role-playing and simulation. Practice job interviews, sales calls, or difficult conversations with DeepSeek acting as the other person. Long context. Process entire books or meeting transcripts, up to 1 million tokens. Course 3. DeepSeek Engineering. Expert. Paid. For developers, data scientists, technical founders. API integration. Build your own AI apps. RAG. Retrieval augmented generation. Make DeepSeek answer questions from your private documents. Local deployment. Run DeepSeek on your own computer. No internet, total privacy. Function calling and agents. Let DeepSeek control your code, databases, or external tools. If you're happy with the basics, stop here. But if you want to save hours every week or build something real, the intermediate course is your next step. Final tips and call to action. 3 final tips before you go. Practice weekly. Even 10 minutes a week keeps the skill sharp. Keep the cheat sheets. Download all 5 PDFs and put them in a folder. Never stop verifying, especially for important tasks. Thank you for taking DeepSeek for everyone. You now have a superpower. Use it wisely. Ready for more? Click the link below to enroll in Course 2, DeepSeek Power User. And if you found this free course valuable, please share it with one friend.